Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to today's tea time. So this video is going to be a little bit different because, as you know, I am trying to declutter and I am doing Project Pan, so I'm trying to get my makeup collection down to a reasonable size. In doing this, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers doing their inventory where they pretty much just say the amount of items that they currently own and the number that their goal is going to be. So I decided to do that as well because last year it got to the point where I had so much makeup, I really wasn't enjoying my collection. Things were getting lost, the things that I loved were getting lost, and I just didn't use it as much. But now that I have decluttered and pretty much everything in my collection are things that I love and use, I feel like I am using my products a lot more. It's so much better. I'm using makeup every single day, and it's just been a better experience. So to keep myself on track with not purchasing all that much, I decided to do a makeup inventory. So this is not going to be a vanity tour, and it's not going to be a review. This is just my numbers of what I have in different categories, my goals, and why it is my goals. And these are definitely not set in stone. Like, if I really fall in love with a product, I will purchase it, but I won't purchase it just because it's on sale or because it's a trendy piece. So I have made a list, and I have different, so I have like lips, face, eyes, and miscellaneous, and then I have the goals over here, my starting numbers, and then how many I can adjust to get down to that number. So that is either through decluttering or panning, and I'll probably do an update within 6 months, so we'll see how I go. And this is also a way for me, since I do work at Sephora, I do get makeup for free. This is a way for me to really try the products that I receive, and if I don't love it, I'll pass it on, or if it's not my shade, I'll pass it on. So they are really strict about gratis rules, so I'll find the appropriate home for the things that I don't love, or things that are something that I really truly, it doesn't match me. So we'll see how that goes. It's obviously going to be a lot more difficult because unlike people who are purchasing all the products that are coming into their home and their collection, I have products coming into me by my work, which is amazing, but there are some times where maybe the shade doesn't work and I just hold on to it because it's like Dior or Marc Jacobs, and it's like these really high-end brands, but if it's something I'm never going to use, I should either discard it or give it to like my mom and my sister. So that is something to mention. This is just trying to keep myself in check and hopefully downsize, get a minimal collection where everything that is in my collection is something that I love and use, and it's just a better experience. So let's just dive in. So first I'll go over lips, and I am going to start off with lipsticks. My goal is to only have 10. I feel like that is a very appropriate number. It's pretty much any shade that I would need, because it's not like I need every shade. Some of the shades just don't work with my skin tone. So 10 is a perfectly good number to have. I currently have 49, and that includes liquid lipsticks. So I can definitely bring that number down. I do have Project Pans and other ways for me to bring that number down. So 10 is my goal, and I have 39 to go. So next is lip pencils. I don't use them all that often. I do have a couple of my Project Pans, so I feel like this starting number is going to go down pretty quickly, and my starting number is 9, and my goal is to only have 5, which I still think is a good amount of pencils to have, especially when it's a shade, something that I really don't use. So I only have to get rid of 4, and 2 are in my Project Pans, so I feel like this number is definitely an achievable one. So for glosses, my goal is to only have 3. I really don't use glosses all that often, so I think maybe just a shimmery one, a fun one, and so my goal is to only have 3 because I really don't use them all that often. So if I had more than that, they would go bad before I even got to enjoy them. So I currently have 7, and 2 are my Project Pan, so I feel like that number is, again, a good one to bring down through Project Panning. So my next category is lip balms, and my goal is to only have 3. Again, I don't use them all that often, and lip balms is something that you should just use the same one until it's gone, because a lot of them have SPF. SPF goes bad, so my goal is to only have 3, and I currently have 9. So I can probably do it through Project Panning, but most of them I don't like, so I probably could declutter some of them. Going on to face products, so for foundations, my goal is to only have 3, one for a dewy complexion, a natural complexion, and a matte complexion. So I feel like that is perfect. Maybe a 4th one if it's for like a tinted moisturizer. I currently have 7. which I could definitely downsize because there's a few that are not my shades, but I'm still trying to like figure them out. So I feel like this is the number that it will be easy to accumulate because I do get a lot of foundations through work when brands get new foundations, and then a lot of the times they do give them to us. So that is one where I'll have to like make sure it's my correct shade if I keep it. So for powders, I have 4 and my goal is to only have 2. I don't use powders that often and I really don't need 4 of them. So I can easily bring it down because I know there are 2 in my project pan. So after those 2 are done, I will be at my number. Next, for setting sprays, my goal is to only have 2, one for a dewy complexion, one for matte, and I currently have 3. But I feel like that's still a good number because one is my Max Fix Plus, which is not quite a setting powder. I feel like it's just a necessity. So I still think that number is definitely a good number. For primers, I currently have 7. My goal is to only have 3, and so it's still not a bad number. Like, I feel like a lot of my starting numbers were way worse. Like, if I had done this at the beginning of last year or at the beginning of this year even, like, my numbers would have been like tripled the numbers that they are. So at my starting numbers, they are higher, but they're so much better than they were. So for primers, my goal is to have 3. I have 7. It's not that bad. For concealers, my goal is to only have 2, and I do only have 2. I have 2 from Sephora collection. One is a darker shade for the summer, which is almost gone, so I could probably just discard it now because I feel like it won't stay good until next summer. And then the other one is the one I'm currently using, which is a number 3. So that is still a good number. I think I want to get one other one, which is just a different, I want to get one that's more like a pot concealer than just the doe foot. For highlights, I only want to have 3 because there's really only 3 shades of highlights you can get. You can get golden, neutral, or pink. So I am more towards the golden undertones, but I feel like having all 3 is a good idea. So the 3 is what I am currently trying to achieve. I have 7, which is still not bad because I used to have way more. So next is blushes, and I did blushes, like highlights, blushes, and bronzers as individual ones. I did not include ones in palettes because I can't control when a brand puts a few blushes in the eyeshadow palette, so I'm not going to worry about those. I will, of course, try to get through those, but obviously these are just for my single blushes. So I currently have 14, and my goal is to have 6. So I think that is an achievable thing to do, and I think 6 is a little low, so I might bump that up a bit. But blush is something I don't go through that fast, so I don't think I would cycle through 14 blushes all the time. So I think 6 would be a comfortable number. For bronzers, my goal is to only have 2. I have 4. I'm super pale. I don't need a ton of bronzer, so I can totally get down to just 2. For palettes for the face, so this is like, I want to keep 1 blush palette and I want to keep 1 contour palette, and my goal is to have 2, and I do have 2, so that's perfect. I do have a blush palette and I do have a contour palette, so that works for me. Now moving on to eyes. So now I'm moving on to eyes. My liners is a bit out of control. My goal is to only have 5 because I really just need like a black and a brown and a couple other shades, and I currently own 20. So that is something I could definitely get through in project panning. I know I have 4 in project pans at the moment, so I feel like that is a number that I could totally dwindle down pretty quickly through panning. Mascaras I go through all the time, so my goal is to only have 3 at a time, and I currently have 8, but I don't have all 8 open at this time. I only have 2 open at a time. So my mascaras you'll often see in empties because I do go through them quite quickly. So 8 is still not a bad number. For eye primers, my goal is to only have 2, and I do have 2, so that works for me. For cream eyeshadows, I don't use a lot, so my goal is to only really have 2 in both neutrals, everyday shades, and I currently have 8. I could easily declutter them or put them in panning projects. So I know 3 are currently in panning projects, so that number is going to go down pretty fast. For single shadows, I thought having 10 single shadows, or up to 15, because that would fill like a Z palette, would be appropriate, and I currently only have 6. So you'll see where all my other you'll see where all of my other eyeshadows come from. So I definitely want to bump up that single eyeshadow bit because I want to get more into loving every shade than just loving a few shades in a palette. So that is my goal, is to have up to 15, and I only have 6. So I have some leeway. Next is palettes. My goal is to only have 3 palettes. I currently own 10. So that's where all my eyeshadows are in palettes. But obviously I can't pan all of those because that would be pretty tough. So it would have to be through decluttering, or until I get bored I can hand them off to somebody else. So we'll see about that number. It's hard to say no to palettes though, especially when they're good. Gel eyeliners, my goal is to only have 1 because I don't use it. So I have 3, still not bad. The other 2 are brand new. I'm currently working at 1 at a time, and eventually I will only have 1. Brows, I really only want to have 2 brow products, one that is like a Brow Wiz and one that's a pomade. I think it's safe to have 2, especially for traveling. I like to have a Brow Wiz with me. I currently have 5. Most of them are either close to being done or it's in a project pan. So I feel like getting down to that 2 number will be pretty fast. Now moving on to miscellaneous, I have some fragrances, and for rollerballs my goal is to only have 3 because if I have more than that I don't use them all that often, so I feel like having 3 is easy to go through and not get bored. And I currently have 14, so I have a couple in project pans, and eventually that number will go down. For full sizes, my goal is to only have 3, and I do. So I have 3 full-size fragrances. For body sprays, my goal is to only have 2, and I do have 2, so that's perfect. And for polishes, I'm so proud of my polish number. At the beginning of the year, I had well over 200 polishes, and I did a major purge, and I went down to 27, which I'm so proud of myself. I really got rid of any polish that I didn't love or didn't stay on. I really did like a huge thing about my polishes. My goal is to only go down to 20, but 27 is still a really good number for me, so that is awesome. So that is where I am at with my inventory, and I know this is a really random video because I still want to purchase products, especially since I do have a beauty channel. I will continue to purchase products, so it's more for me to stay on top of getting rid of the things that I'm no longer using, that I no longer love, because it will just eventually accumulate to the point that I have way too much. And it also makes me think of when I'm shopping to only really purchase things that I truly need or love, and not just getting it because it's on sale or it's a trendy thing or it's a new product I have to have 4 of them. Like, if it's a new product, yes, I can try maybe 1 or 2 of them, but I don't need to get like the whole collection to have on hand. So that is where I am at. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll leave my panning playlist down below in case you are interested, and thank you all so much, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye!